In the headlines, Maiduguri residents decry hike in food prices as Christmas shopping begins. Death toll from Anambra stampede rises to 22. Free Yuletide train ride causes influx at Kaduna station. On the foreign scene, Taliban kills 16 soldiers, injures 5 in Pakistan midnight attack. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. The news in detail. Maiduguri residents are decrying the continuous surge in the prices of food items occasioned by the spike in demand for essential commodities during the Christmas and New Year season. Last-minute shoppers say prices of some items have more than doubled compared to recent months. Trust TV's Beatrice Korutsi has a situation report.
Just days to Christmas celebration, shoppers rush to get the necessary food items needed for the festive season. Maiduguri Monday market doesn't look as busy as one would expect due to a combination of factors: high prices and low purchasing power. Both buyers and sellers are uncomfortable with the situation, which is fast affecting the positive energy that usually comes with the season.
In
the past, a bag of rice sold for 55,000 naira, but now 95,000 naira, while a measure we sell it at 7,000 naira. We transport food commodities, that's why the price increased. And even flour that goes for 3,000 naira is now 5,000 naira.
The garato is 3,000, red oil is 2,000.
What do you make am cost?
We don't know. Is it for the Nigeria? We don't know. It's only God.
Like before and now, how much?
Before is 1,500, 13,000. Garato is 2,000 before. Customer dey like before. You know, so now it's season of Christmas. Customers have traveled. Most of the customers they have traveled.
So when I know they see customers now.
No, we dey see small. Thank God.
Some residents share their thoughts on the current situation.
We are not anticipating such increase in amounts of prices. Some of the things that we usually buy at a cheaper rate now is like ×3, ×4. So we are not really finding it funny.
So you think the Christmas will be on a low key?
It's definitely low key. In fact, I think most people are doing it on a low key. Just whatever you find yourself eating, just eat it. The government have been promising a lot. They have been promising a lot, but we've not been seeing any outcome. So I don't know. For the government part, I just really don't know, because we've been praying for much, we've been asking for much, but nothing has been done. So I think at a point we've lost hope.
Like a measure of rice before. I think, although I don't used to buy in measures, but there was a time rice was between 300 to 400. But now it's almost 3,000. So the price just skyrocketed. But the government knows what it should do. The government should come to the rescue of people. People are really suffering in this country, honestly.
Bird sellers are experiencing low patronage. A big chicken goes for 25,000 naira, while others range between 10 to 20,000 naira. People patronize us, but not like before. We only see few coming. They complain that they don't have much money. We sell broilers 12,000 naira and small ones sells at 8,000 naira. Despite the hikes, many believe that once the Christmas celebration is over, prices of food commodities will significantly reduce due to a possible drop in demand. Beatrice Korutsi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
And to more developments related to the Yuletide season, Kaduna's train station was overwhelmed on Sunday as a free train ride promotion led to a massive influx of passengers. Security personnel responded by locking all entrances and exits to manage the situation. leaving many stranded within the station. The unexpected surge in passengers began early in the day, with long queues forming at ticket counters and crowded waiting areas. Travelers arriving from Abuja faced another challenge as they were reportedly locked inside the station and denied exit due to security measures. Authorities have not released an official statement on the incident, but the measure appears to be aimed at ensuring order amidst the crowd. The free train ride promotion intended to celebrate the holiday season has drawn attention to the need for better crowd management strategies and communication from the authorities. Now, elsewhere in the nation's capital, some of the travelers in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, who are traveling from different parts of the country to celebrate the Christmas and New Year, has resorted to night journey in order to cut down expenses. Daily Trust reporter who visited various bus terminals in parts of the FCT reports that some commuters are left disappointed and stranded due to the sudden increase in transportation. Our findings revealed that from Jabi Motor Park to Sokoto in the northern part of the country, as at Sunday for daytime is 21,000 naira, while from Utako to Kano State is 16,000 naira for a small vehicle. Also from Utako to Aba, Owerri and Port Harcourt route has increased between 63,000 naira, to 65,000 naira for daytime, while for night journey is between 15,000 naira to 20,000 naira, depending on the vehicle. The cost of transportation from Utako and Jabi to Plateau State last 3 weeks was between 7,500 naira to 8,000 naira. A visit to the terminal on Sunday shows upward increase to 12,000 naira for coastal buses. Some of the travelers who spoke to our reporter expressed disappointment over the situation, while pointing accusing fingers to the policies of the present administration. And on to East development. The death toll from the stampede in Anambra State has risen to 22, the local authorities said on Sunday. Spokesman for the Anambra State Police Command, Tochukwu Ikenga, said the police have commenced an investigation into the incident. Ikenga, a superintendent of police, said those who sustained injuries are receiving medical treatment. The stampede took place on Saturday during a rice distribution event at Amaranta Stadium in Ojika, Ihiala local government area. The event was organized by Obi Jackson Foundation. Anambra stampede is not the first to happen of recent, as the nation has previously recorded death from Abuja and Oyo stampedes in December. Shortly before the Anambra incident, another stampede occurred at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja, claiming the lives of 10 persons. Only a few days ago, a similar incident had occurred in Ibadan, Oyo State, where a stampede at a children's fun fair resulted in the death of at least 35 children and left 6 others critically injured. In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima has mourned the victims of the recent tragic stampedes that claimed lives across the country. Shettima, in a statement on Sunday by his spokesman, Stanley Mwacha, highlighted the urgent need for improved safety measures during public gatherings. In his condolence message, he expressed deep sorrow over the losses, just as he offered prayers and heartfelt condolences. He further assured affected families that the federal government would provide necessary support during this difficult period. In Okija, Anambra State, what was meant to be a Christmas palliative distribution on Saturday turned tragic when 22 persons lost their lives, with several others injured during an early morning stampede. The same day in Abuja, another tragedy struck when 10 persons died during an annual Christmas food sharing event at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama. And now the police authorities on Sunday has denied allegations of extrajudicial killings during the End Bad Governance protests. Briefing journalists in Abuja, Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi said the claims in November 28 report by Amnesty International were false, misleading and damaging to the image of the force. Among other things, Amnesty International accused the police of hurting unarmed protesters and claimed that at least 24 people were killed in 6 northern states. But Adejobi stated that the force had constituted a special investigative panel to verify the claims. He referenced some cases cited in the report, saying that, contrary to the organization's claims, findings by the police indicated that police personnel did not use grenades in Borno State. The force spokesman also debunked allegations that 3 individuals were shot dead in Suleja area of Niger State. Adejobi added that the alleged killing of a 21-year-old in Katsina was also found to be untrue, adding that local sources confirmed that no such incident occurred. According to Adejobi, the force operates under the highest professional standards and remains fully committed to upholding human rights and the rule of law. He insisted that police operatives deployed for protest management are regularly being trained in compliance with international human rights standards. A now attempt by an import and export businessman, Olisaka Chibuzo Callistus, to smuggle 256 wraps of cocaine weighing 6 kilograms into the country through the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, has been thwarted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. The seizure, which is the single largest interception of cocaine at the Kano Airport since the creation of Makia Command of NDLEA in 2006, was made on Sunday, 15th December 2024, during the inward clearance of passengers on Ethiopian Airlines flight ET941 from Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Olisaka, who claims to be into import and export business, was subjected to body screening, during which he was found to have packed hundreds of cocaine pellets in his body. A similar attempt by an ex-convict, Olarewaju Bada Akorede, to export a consignment of Rofinol to South Africa through the export shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, was equally frustrated by the NDLEA officers at the airport. The consignment was hidden in a cargo containing gari, shoes, men's singlets, and other items. Olarewaju was also convicted for a similar crime earlier this year, following his arrest on 12 December 2023 for attempting to ship a 4.90 kilogram tramadol and 2.10 kilogram Rofinol to South Africa through the export shed of the Lagos airport. He was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment by a federal high court in Lagos with an option to pay a fine of 900,000 naira, which he paid and was freed before returning to repeat the same crime. And now, in the spirit of the Christmas season, a philanthropist has helped 51 inmates regain their freedom from various correctional centers across Adamawa State by paying their fines. This gesture aims to alleviate the overcrowding in correctional facilities across the country. Gibson Swadigo reports from Yola.
The inmates selected from different correctional centers in Adamawa State were gathered at the state headquarters. They remained behind bars due to their inability to pay court-sanctioned fines. The Adamawa State Comptroller of the Nigerian Correctional Services commended the philanthropist initiative, highlighting its positive impact on reducing congestion in the facilities.
Today, I want to thank him for coming into Adamawa State Command as to be able to actually fulfill such humanitarian gesture.
It's not my wish to be coming always to free people from prison. My wish to come next year to see prison empty.
The immediate past chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Adamawa State described the intervention as timely and urged the federal government to renovate correctional facilities.
He doesn't consider the differences in religion, differences in tribe, where you come from. That one doesn't matter for him. He is interested in human beings. And I think that is how, that should be our role as human beings.
Additionally, the philanthropist visited patients at the Yola Specialist Hospital and Modibo Adama University Teaching Hospital in Yola, where he provided cash assistance to patients. Gibson Suadugu, Trust TV News, Yola.
Now you're watching the news update coming to you live from Trust TV studios in the nation's capital. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Here is a reminder of some of our top stories. We told you that Maiduguri residents decry hike in food prices as Christmas shopping begin. You also heard death toll from Anambra stampede rises to 22. And now to more stories. In a bold move to tackle unemployment and foster economic growth, Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has launched a transformative empowerment program distributing kiosks to 300 youth under the state's Micro Retailers Empowerment Initiative. The initiative aimed at reducing redundancy and increasing productivity among the youth as part of the state government's broader efforts to uplift its citizens. The report.
The beneficiaries carefully selected from the 287 political wards across the state have been equipped with resources and training to launch and manage their businesses. This initiative, supervised by the Agency of Youth Employment and Empowerment under the leadership of Habibu Ubali, underscores the administration's commitment to empowering the youth and supporting small-scale entrepreneurs. All the youth here have been trained in conducting transactions using POS systems as well as in the skills of buying and selling. Speaking at the launch, Governor Namadi emphasized that the program aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's transformative agenda to empower youth and boost economic activities nationwide.
I am highly delighted that today, as we are gathered here, all the 300 micro retail shops are ready to be distributed to 300 carefully selected youths from each of the ward in the state. Each of these kiosks will be stocked with essential commodities that will serve as a seed capital required to start the modest community-based retail business. As I mentioned during the initial flag-off, each of these youths now have an opportunity to own and grow a retail shop to become a much big-time business enterprises and gradually transform them from micro retailers to big-time businessmen.
This youth empowerment initiative will significantly boost the economic well-being of the state, helping individuals to support themselves, their families, and society at large. The state government has allocated over 300 million naira as seed capital for this initiative, demonstrating its dedication to ensuring the success of these young entrepreneurs. Beneficiaries expressed their gratitude, highlighting how the support will enable them to become financially independent and contribute to their communities. We hope this will be a great startup businesses that will not only benefit me. We have heard that Dangote started from a small business and we aspire to be the next Dangote. We will do our very best to sustain this business and we hope to one day empower others as well. This empowerment program is expected to not only improve the livelihood of participants, but also stimulate economic growth across the state, setting a benchmark for other regions to emulate.
And now to developments in business. Volkswagen on Friday announced sweeping changes to its German operations, including more than 35,000 future job cuts and sharp capacity reductions in a last-gasp deal between Europe's top car maker and unions to avert mass strikes. Union leaders hailed the agreement as a Christmas miracle after 70 hours of grueling negotiations, the longest in the company's 87-year history. There would be no immediate site closures or layoffs, and Volkswagen appeared to have backed away from demanding 10% wage cuts. The deal, avoiding costly strikes, may also provide relief to investors after months of negotiations. Volkswagen has been in talks with union representatives since September over measures it called necessary for it to compete with cheaper Chinese rivals and handle lackluster demand in Europe and slower than expected adoption of electric vehicles. Around 100,000 workers have already staged 2 separate strikes in the past month, the largest in the company's history, protesting against cutting plans. And now to developments away from Nigeria. The Pakistani Taliban claimed a brazen overnight raid on an army outpost near the border with Afghanistan on Saturday, which intelligence officials said killed 16 soldiers and critically wounded 5 more. The siege started after midnight and lasted about 2 hours as around 30 militants pummeled the mountainous outpost from 3 sides. A second intelligence official also anonymously confirmed the death toll and wounded in the attack in the Makin area of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, 40 kilometers from the Afghan border. Pakistan's domestic chapter of the Taliban claimed the attack in a statement, saying it was staged in retaliation for the martyrdom of their senior commanders. The group claimed to have seized a hoard of military gear, including machine guns and a night vision device. Hundreds of former soldiers and officers from the previous Syrian government queued up outside reconciliation centers in Damascus on Saturday in the hope of clearing their status with the new interim government. The centers have been set up as part of a scheme to grant amnesty to those who did not take part in torture and killing during the government of ousted President Bashar al-Assad. Ali Morshid, and a former adjutant in the Syrian army, was one of those applying for the reconciliation status. While there have been some outbursts of deadly sectarian violence since Assad's fall, it is nothing close to what was feared after nearly 14 years of civil war. In the days since Assad's fall, dozens of Syrians have been killed in acts of revenge, according to activists and experts who monitor Syria.
Those who were serving in the army came here to settle their status. We hope they will reconsider our status. We were not behind any bloodshed. We were just serving the country a long time ago. This is a center for settling status for former regime soldiers, officers and compulsory service soldiers. They come here to the center, they hand over items related to their service to the Syrian state, such as weapons. Then we give them new temporary reconciliation ID until we issue a permanent ID. Much of the credit for the relative calm is being given to the Islamic militant group that led the insurgency and is helping to rebuild the country and unite its many factions. We were surprised with the numbers. We opened 2 centers and the turnout is huge. The numbers are in the thousands, as we can see, around 1,500 in this center.
And that is where we wrap it up on the news update on Trust TV at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentaries. I am Aisha Salihu. Join us again